Hey everyone, how you doing? My name is Charles Harris. This is episode number 1 of Financial Literacy Tips, avoiding the traps of generational miseducation. Let's get started. So this particular episode is dedicated to anyone who's ever gotten their first credit card, misused it, went through a couple of years of heartaches, headaches, and overcame it. Or you may be the one who's still trying to overcome it. This video is also for the one who's never gone through it yet, and hopefully this information will be able to help you to avoid that trap. Okay? So, toxic relationship with credit card. Many of us was told that a credit card is necessary. Everyone has to have it. It will help you to build your credit profile. You are only to use it for a rainy day. You're only to use it if you get in trouble. It is good to have to make sure that you will never go without. If you need to get yourself out of a jam, that's what it's for. Okay? The issue with that is it sets up a toxic relationship. Let's think about what rainy day means. A rainy day is something that could be depressing, something that's gloomy, something that does not make a person feel good, because it's something that stops an individual from doing what they want to do. Raise your hand if you've ever felt bad about not being able to do what you want to do. And that could look like a rainy day in your life. Me too. All right, so when we're taught that this credit card is only for rainy days, be careful and only use it if you really need it. Let's say you're a broke college student like I was at Bowie State University. Let's say that you are in a band and you play every weekend, and your friends, their parents, so it looks like, gives them everything that they want, the shoes, the clothes, everything that you could not necessarily afford yourself. Raise your hand if you had to pretty much get it yourself. Great parents, you always ate, but those extra things, you had to figure out a way. Raise your hand, all right? So one of the things that you have to make sure you don't do is keep up with the Joneses, because that can create a toxic relationship where we're making emotional decisions, okay? So because we make these emotional decisions, we grow not to like the thing that put us in that position. The credit card. Not realizing it was a tool. And if used correctly, this will help us to get wherever we want to go, but we were never taught where and how this will help us. All right? And when it would actually help us, which is most important. So follow me on this. When I received my first bill, I blamed my mom. She was the one who taught me about the credit card. And one thing I did not realize until I was 30-something years old, that my mom must have had a toxic relationship with the credit card her first time around and having one. And even though she was talking to me from a secured space, a safe space, she experienced something very toxic. Now, one thing I want us to think about is whenever we experience something that's toxic in our lives, we tend not to share the whole story with our loved ones. We tend to share it in an abbreviated fashion. So it's not my mom's fault. It's something like a bump in the road that it seems like everyone hits, almost like a rite of passage. And that is something that we look to break in our community. We don't have to bump our heads to get ahead. Think about this. For every goal that you set, you're already going to have bumps in the road. So we don't need to create roadblocks. We don't need that. All right? We're going to already have to work for what we want. That's in anything in life. But we don't have to go through toxicity. All right, so today we're going to cover trade lines, what those trade lines mean. A credit card is a trade line, and how we can leverage it to benefit you, all right? So according to Google, a trade line is a record of activity for any type of credit extended to a borrower and reported to a credit reporting agency. So these are only going to be accounts that is reported to the agency, okay? So it could be medical records, not medical records, but the actual, you know, when you go to the hospital for anything, your medical bill. So medical bills, all right, I don't know why I said records. Medical bills, credit cards. It can also be your car. If you're paying late, it will show. If you get a repossession, it will show, all right? It can also be inquiries when you're trying to make larger purchases, okay? A few other things that it can also encompass, all right? So one of the things we need to learn before knowing how to use these trade lines properly, and the trade line that we're going to talk about today is credit cards. One of the things we need to cover is how is your actual credit score actually tallied, all right? How is your credit score actually tallied? Because the credit card, if used properly, is the number one thing that can benefit you on building your actual credit score, all right? So 35% is based upon your credit history, okay? Payment history. You want to make sure that you're actually paying on time every month. So what happens is these companies have an account set up with the credit bureaus. And every time they report something, they're actually paying to report these things. The credit industry is a business. It is not a government entity, it is a business. So if a person pays late, they're paying to snitch on you. They're paying to tell on you, all right? So they're going to report bad progress faster than good progress. If you just so happen to pay on time every month, it will report. But some of you may have discovered that your good activity may show sometimes 2-3 months down the road, all right? That's why we have to be patient when we're doing the right things. Sometimes when we do the right things in life, it takes longer to be noticed. But sometimes when we do wrong things in life, it's noticed quickly, okay? Same thing when we're talking about our payment history dealing with credit cards, okay? If you're trying to purchase a home, they're gonna look over a 2-year period on what you have been doing, okay? So this is very important. One pitfall that one can suffer is if you have 1 day late on a payment, you can actually suffer up to about 100 points on your credit score. So you want to make sure that you're actually on time. Number 2, we have amount owed. That's going to be the second largest chunk, all right? Amount owed, okay? This is important to manage to make sure that we're not overextending ourselves, okay? You just want to make sure you're not overextending yourself. So it's not about the number you have. It's more so predicated on how much money are you working with and how much money are you looking to borrow to spend on other things like your cars, your home and things like that. So if I'm operating with $1 million and I have, $500,000 of loans out there, I'm going to be looked upon differently as a person who's operating with $500,000 with $500,000 of loans sitting out there. Does that make sense? Good. Okay. The next one is going to be 15%, and that is length of credit history. Your actual length of your credit history. Okay. So if we're paying it on time, we're not overextending ourselves, and we're showing history, we've now covered 65, 70, 80% of our credit score. 80% so far, all right? Your score can range from 3 all the way on up to about 850, 900, okay? 10% based upon credit mix. You might not be able to see that, Okay, credit mix. All right, having various credit cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, having them. Now, as you can see, this section right here, let's write it in a different. This section right here covers 80%. So if you could just be responsible with this, the rest doesn't matter. So if you just are responsible with that one card, be responsible, you done knocked out 80% of it. All right, 80%, I promise you, that's over 700. Now, if you're down here, your credit card mix, you want to switch it up, that's how we can get in that 750, 800 club, okay? And all that is having multiple cards of multiple trade lines, if you will, okay? All right, and the last 10%, we're going to put it right beside it, and I'll put it up here so you can see it. The last 10% is based upon your actual new credit, okay? New credit, all right? So let's talk about credit card benefits. Number one, it is a trade line, all right? Credit card benefits. Number one, it is a trade line. Let's write this up for you so you can be able to see it, take notes. Raise your hand if you're getting it so far, or take your pen and tap your notepad if you're getting this so far, okay? Comment below if you have any questions, all right? So, credit card benefits. Number one, it's a trade line. Trade line helps you to actually grow your credit score fast, all right? Number two, and I already said it, it grows at a fast rate. What we call fast rate is over 6 to 9 months. We're not impatient with this thing. Let's imagine you get in a relationship with someone and you decide to get engaged within month number 3, you marry by month number 6. Is that a fast rate for that relationship? Yes, this is a relationship. So that's why I say at a fast rate, 6 to 9 months, you're going to already be able to experience changes if you get that right, okay? All right, the next one, it is safer to use than your debit card. All right, let's pause right here. Pro tip number one, this is that bonus tip. When you operate with your debit card and someone gets that information for whatever reason, and I pray this never happens to you, your actual account can be compromised and shut down while they're doing the actual investigation. So you have no access to be able to use that. And you have to wait. It could take 30 days, 60 days, 90 days before you get back access, before you get your card again. With a credit card, what's going to happen is you have 1 to 3 business days before they send you a new one. It's a quicker process. That's why it's safer. Protects your funds. It protects your ability to be able to maneuver and move in this world today. Many people don't operate with cash as much. Most people operate with cards or information on your phone, boop, boop, and gone, right? So one of the things that you want to do with this is you want to be able to get into a habit of using your credit card. Every time you use a card, you keep in mind how much you spent. Once it posts to your account, you take the debit card, pay it off. So one thing that we tend to do with this, we tend to spend it on bills like Netflix, light bill, gas, things that we spend on a regular, things that we can actually manage on a regular. Once you build up the ability to have a little bit more responsibility, then you can spend it on like gas, spend it on, your food, those things. If you're not used to it yet, I would advise to start slow. Start on the things that you already have it in your budget to spend money on. As you get used to that, my advice is to then allow it to grow your spending habits into the gas, grocery store, the things where the numbers may fluctuate, okay? Because keep in mind, if you're not going to pay it until the end of the month and pay it all off, or if you're waiting until it posts, you might forget to check your account, your credit card account, to see if when it posts. All right, so we just want to make sure that we're protecting ourselves with this, okay? All right, perfect. And also, if you're just getting started, I'll explain later why you may want to start a little slower, okay? So wrapping this thing up, you have two different types of credit cards, okay? Raise your hand if you're getting it so far. Click like and share if this is helping you and you know it can help someone else. All right? So we have two different types of credit cards. We have an unsecured card and we have a secured credit card, okay? With the unsecured credit card, you have to be approved. All right? This is based upon your credit worthiness, your credit score, okay? They're going to give you a balance based upon the assets that you have, how much money are you working with in your bank, and also what is your current credit score. Your current credit score will also affect the APR, your interest rate, all right? So this is why we like to pay things off fast or faster if we're working on our actual situation. Secured credit card. This is for individuals who are not able to get approved yet. Okay? Normally, typically, you'll need $200 to about $500 to get it. And what you're going to do is you're going to manage your own money with this particular option. A secured credit card can mature into an unsecured credit card situation. All right? So if you're like many Americans right now, some people don't have the actual credit worthiness to get this. They don't have the leverage in their account to get the actual unsecured credit card. And some people don't have the discretionary income at this time to invest the $200, $500 in themselves to build their credit. So one thing I want you to think about, and this is the tip of today that we're going to give you, something that you can walk away with to be able to take advantage of right now. For under $20, actually it's under $10. We have something called Credit My Rent. The link will be below for you. When you're crediting your rent, that is the largest bill that you actually have, okay? Crediting your rent is the largest bill that you actually have, right? And when you're able to get credit for paying your rent on time, this is a trade line that's going to help you to grow your credit profile. One of the cool things about this service, outside of the price to maintain it, is you can backdate it up to 2 years. 1 year, or you can start new. You can start fresh. All right? You do not have to get approved for this. The only approval is the verification from the landlord or whoever owns the mortgage on the house that you're renting, okay? So, how long does it take to get verified? 2 to 4 weeks. So that means after that time, it immediately posts to your account, okay? 2 to 4 weeks, it'll post immediately. All right, once again, you do not have to get qualified. Now let's think about how long does it take to go get a credit card, get approved for it, or do the secure credit card situation. How long does it take to show that discipline, if you don't have it yet, to establish it for 1 year, 2 years? One of the things that we've all been faithful with is paying our rent on time. One of the things that you might not know is 60% of all the people that's watching this video actually renting this time and you're not getting credit for it. So what this does, it helps you to skip the line and get a positive account, a positive trade line on your credit report right then, right there, and it only takes a month to do it. Guys, this is game changing, because what happens is this. If you want healing from a toxic relationship, you need results. You need to see something, okay? You know that you need help, but the fact of the matter is it's confusing. You just learned today how it's tallied up. You need to hear it more and more and more. And one thing is, when you get a little bit or a glimpse of hope that you have results, that you have something that you can do, that you can actually maintain, it's perfect. So in the link below, it's going to actually not only show the link to show you how to get started, you can read up on it, see the information for yourself. Let's set up a call if you want to know more about this, all right? Let's set up a call. Inbox me. We can set up the date and time best for you. What are some of the other benefits for you? Some may not have the extra money for the secured credit card. We have a solution. All right, what else do we see? Need quick results to trust how easy it is to manage your credit. I said that earlier. Here it is. Okay, I hope this episode actually encouraged you. I hope this helped you. Normally I'm a bubbly person, but when we're talking about finances, when we're talking about killing, you know, the old way and coming up with new ways to do things, this is how we do it. Parents, if you have your children and they're staying in a home with you and they're paying rent to learn responsibility, this is an awesome program for them. If they want to start fresh, there is no sign-up fee. Yes, there's a sign-up fee for the first year or the second year as far as getting credit, backdating it for 1 year or 2 years. If they just want to start fresh, this is the perfect way to set up your children for success. Parents, if you are the ones who are renting at this time and you want credit to make sure that when you're going out to try to purchase a home, crazy market depending on where you are, you already have a leg up. Like we shared earlier, they're going to check 2-year history. What have you been doing over the past 2 years? And if your largest bill that you pay every month is showing that you've been faithful with that bill, this really helps you a lot. That is the power of having trade lines. So let's use this to help you, and let's mature and move on to getting those credit cards, using them correctly to make sure that we're never in a toxic relationship again. My name is Charles Harris. It's been a pleasure to sit here and teach you over this past 23 minutes. Thank you for being patient with me. And also, I want you to click like, share to make sure that other people are getting this information. Make sure that other people are able to share one, each one, teach one. I love you. I already said it. Bye.